I'm Grant Mukai from Wellesley Media, and we're here at the Wellesley Free Library with Kevin Walsh, who you may remember as the author of Follow the Dog Home. He was on our channel about a year and a half ago.
Yep.
He came out with his new book in June, which is called The Perfect Catch, and he was here to speak at the library to explain a little bit about what his book is about. So can you explain to us what this is?
Sure. Probably the easiest way to describe it, if you can, if you remember the story, a river runs through it, and marry that with Saving Private Ryan, both two terrific films and very good books. That's kind of what you have here. And what happened about a year ago, my father, who's 73 years old, he more or less summoned his sons, my two other brothers, to come fishing with him. He planned this fly fishing trip in Western New York and paid for it, non-refundable, before he even asked if we could make it, right around Thanksgiving time. So in doing so, though, what he did was he had the financial pressure and the fatherly pressure on us that if we didn't come, he was out of this money. And we had not been together completely as a family for 5 years. And with Dad getting up there in age and a chance to take a nice vacation just among the men of the family, we thought we probably didn't have another 5 years to wait, and we should do it. And we did it last Thanksgiving, and it was a wonderful trip, not just for the fishing, but really more for the male bonding and the friendships within the family that were developed because of that trip.
Okay, right. I know you talked a lot about the male bonding part of it and how that particular part seemed to influence a lot of people who have read the book so far, and even some characters in the book, like you talked about the waitress you ran into. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, male bonding in society is almost looked at as it's unmacho, it's almost taboo. Whereas if you look at women and their relationships with other women, they just get into it. They connect a lot better. They're a lot more expressive in their relationships. And it wasn't always this way. I actually did a little bit of research in doing this, but it was through a coffee conversation with a fellow author and best-selling author, Rabbi Harold Kushner. And he and I get together for coffee every now and again as friends. And he said, what we're doing as men, just getting together as friends, doesn't happen much in society, because men usually they have to get together and talk business or compete or go to a game, a bar, and have a beer together. They don't get together just for the spirit of friendship. And that's so obvious around us, because like if men show friendship and emotions with other men, it just it makes them seem like they're less macho, so a lot of men won't risk it. And in the end, what the rabbi was suggesting is that in the end, the allegedly stronger sex is weaker for it, is more prone to depression, isolation, and all sorts of problems, because men don't have that natural support network that women do. And part of what I wanted to do was to put that back into my family and maybe show other men that they should try to bond with their fellow men around them, because not only will they be better, and whoever it is that they're bonding with, then society will be better too.
Okay, could you briefly outline or just briefly give us some examples of what specific bonding experiences you had?
Well, just the ride itself. I mean, like knowing that we were all coming together and it was just going to be the men of the family was special. 800 miles in the car. There's no way that you can spend that amount of time in close quarters with your brothers and not rehash some old memories of growing up, some good times, some bad times, going out to dinner together, and then being side by side in the streams catching fish together. It's impossible that you can't connect on some level. And then when we went to Walmart and we got the beer and we got in a fight about what kind of beer we're going to have, and we had a flat tire and we're arguing about how to fix it. You know, we were kind of getting into it and butting heads, but at the same time,
it sort of builds.
It was building some bonds and a little bit of tension, which was later diffused through a number of different activities.
Now, what does the perfect catch refer to specifically? Is this the last photo you guys took?
Yes, it is, because really the fact that my father, who planned this trip and had the foresight and the wisdom to plan a trip and to know that maybe he should pay for it before he even asked if we could make it, and really more or less ordered us to come fishing with him, which was just really kind of the push that we needed for him to catch the biggest and the prettiest and the best and the final fish of the trip, for it to be caught on his rod. It's just the perfect ending. It's the perfect catch. It's the perfect story. But I think what readers they'll have their own perfect catches, be it a fish or just a time in their life where they did something right, they reeled in some of their past and fixed some of the tensions that they maybe had in their life, or they cast out and tried to reel somebody in and tried to have a bonding experience similar to the ones that we had. Now, if I did my job, and I believe I did, people will enjoy our stories, but as they're reading about my family, they'll be substituting their own family experiences and friends' experiences in as well, which is what good writing is all about.
That sounds really great. Well, thanks for being here with us today. If you
Thanks for having
guys
me, Greg.
are interested in getting a copy of this book, be sure to stop by Wellesley Books. Like Kevin said earlier, not many towns are fortunate enough to have their own independent bookseller, so we want to try to support them as much as possible. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. It's great being with you. Appreciate it.